Typically in a debate, the candidates will go after each other, but that didn't really happen last night. Most of the negativity was directed at President Obama. I guess that's the key for the Republican candidate. Whoever seems maddest at Obama will win. And with that in mind, last night, his name came up a lot.
Obamacare. 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 Obamacare.
Obamacare.
Obamacare. Obamacare.
Obamacare.
Obamacare.
Obamacare. Obamacare.
Obamacare.
Obamacare.
Obamacare. Obama. Obamacare. Obamacare.
Obamacare.
Obamacare. Obama. Obamacare. Obamacare. Obama. 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 Obamacare. Obamacare.
Obama.
Obama. Obama. Obama.
Obama.
Obama. Obama. Obama. Obama. Obama.
Deep dish.
Sounds like a campaign tune, right? Well, that was the big theme at Monday's GOP debate, attacks on President Obama. But will the message stick, and did anyone stick, that is, emerge as a true frontrunner? Let's ask our panel. Julie Menin, she's a Democratic strategist and host of Give and Take. Richard Davis, an advisor for No Labels and a former Assistant Secretary of the Treasury in the Carter administration. And Deneen Borelli, a Fox News contributor and fellow with Project 21. Sorry, I didn't mean to play footsie with you there, Julie. But since I did, I'll start with you. What did you make of the field? Clear frontrunner, just too many people involved?
Well, I think the Republican Party would like for us to think that Mitt Romney is a presumptive frontrunner because it brings unity. You certainly saw that, and the attacks were all on President Obama and not on each other. But I do think Mitt Romney has a real problem going forward, and that is his two attacks on Obama were on health care and on his economic performance. When Mitt Romney was governor of Massachusetts, he presided over one of the worst economies and economic performance of any state during that time period. And also, the health care model was really modeled after the health care bill that Romney had put forward.
Deneen, how does he get around that?
That's a great question, and I'm sure he's asking him that question every day because that is going to be a big challenge for him. He thinks he may have Tea Party support. Tea Party does not support any type of Obamacare or Romney care. And he also made a comment about global warming, that man causes global warming. That's a big issue with the Tea Party movement. They have nothing to support that effort in terms of man causes global warming, excuse me. But the 7 people on the stage, I think Michelle Bachmann is generating a lot of buzz, for example. She has a compelling story, but I think it was really interesting with her is that she mentioned that the EPA is a job-killing industry, a job-killing operation. We have high unemployment right now, and that is something that the voters are going to be very concerned about, our jobs.
So, Richard, when you look at the field, why is it that they all decided to attack President Obama and not each other? Why is it too early, or what's your analysis on that?
I think in part it's the problem that we have with the primary system. You saw a Republican debate, and not surprisingly, the first thing they're all doing is appealing to their base. So the way to appeal to their base is to demonize the president, just as when the Democrats want to appeal to their base, they demonize the Paul Ryan budget. I think that in the end of the day, the challenge is for the American public, though, is how do you stop demonizing and figuring out how to work together to solve the critical problems we're facing, because that's not going to happen if we just demonize. We need to have constructive dialogue. We need to have solutions to these problems, and that's what I wasn't seeing from, frankly, not enough from either side.
I agree with that. I mean, I think we're really seeing a hyper-partisanship that is just not good for the country. One of the things that struck me about the debate was how isolationist in terms of foreign policy all the Republican candidates are. This is a 180-degree flip from John McCain and Bush. It's as if they completely repudiated the neoconservative argument of why we got into Iraq and Afghanistan in the first place. So I thought that was a very interesting element to this debate.
Let me ask you this, Deneen, because there are 4 people I can think of who were not standing up there that could be the next time. Huntsman has already announced the day after that he's officially in. Governor Palin, Governor Perry, and Rudy Giuliani. What would you make of the field if all of them get in?
This is a very interesting field, and there's still time, and who knows if someone's going to say or do something and they'll just take themselves out. But the time will tell, and we will see as the clock plays out, as we get closer to the election, who will really be the last person that we could, have in the election, see what happens.
All right. Well, the next stop on President Obama's campaign trail is Wall Street, but will the executives he's wooing for all that dough remember this comment?
It was not an accident of history or a normal part of the business cycle that led us to this situation. There were some irresponsible decisions that were made on Wall Street.
I did not run for office to be helping out a bunch of fat cat bankers on Wall Street.
Oops. We're back with our political panel, Deneen, Richard, and Julie. Richard, does he wish that he could get that comment back? Because now he's back down on Wall Street trying to woo those fat cats for money because he wants to raise $1 billion for re-election.
Look, he may want that comment back. I don't think he wants to change the policies. But I think nobody should be surprised that somebody who, you know, in politics attacked an industry and now is trying to raise money from that industry. I mean, the real problem it represents is there's going to be too much money in this campaign, and I just hope that it's not all used on negativity, but instead that we can bring some greater focus on the issues, because the problem really is it represents is just the too much money that's dominating the political scene from both parties.
Yeah, but Deneen, Wall Street bankers are not happy with President Obama. Many of them voted for him, and then the regulations started coming down.
Right.
You think he's going to win him back?
Well, I think he'll always get money from the hard left. The question is, will he get money from the middle? Regarding the bankers, you know, Jamie Dimon, the CEO of J.P. Morgan Bank, just recently challenged Ben Bernanke on the significance of the regulations and how they're harming jobs. So, you know, this is a concern, and the question is, will they come back and support him? That is a big question. But I've challenged Jamie Dimon. He is a progressive, and I know where he stands when it comes to supporting Obama on a lot of initiatives. So that is a great question. We'll see.
Julie, you live down near Wall Street. You hear the discussion. What do you make of it?
Well, I think obviously there are some who supported Obama last time who might not support him this time, but I think that large majority of them are going to stay with the Democratic Party and support the president. They might not agree with every single thing he's done. There are many liberals who don't agree with every single thing he's done, but overall I think he will win re-election. I think he does have tremendous support, and we also have to remember where we were a couple of years ago during the financial meltdown. Without the bank bailouts, without the stimulus bill, where would we be now? And that's really the question that both donors and voters need to ask.
So all those bankers can forget that they were called fat cats? Richard?
Obama's the biggest fat cat. I mean, come on, all the lavish vacations and Michelle's $3,000 dresses. I think he's the fat cat living large.
Well, I don't know if he's a fat cat. I mean, I think he was handed a very tough set of problems and very tough set of issues that he had to address. And I think what we need to do is, he probably wishes he didn't use that language, because we got to get rid of that kind of language and focus on the issues. Because the issues are tough. They were tough in 2007. They were tough in 2008. Hard choices had to be made then. Really hard choices have to be made now, and that's what we want our leaders to do, to actually make them.
All right, Julie, I got to wrap it up there, unfortunately. But Julie, Richard, Deneen, great panel discussion.
Thanks so much.